It was uh, it was a tough year with an unexpected ending for us. Um, we believed in ourselves, and we believed we were capable of pretty much anything. And we, we went out there today. We went out there yesterday. Um, didn't didn't play our best baseball, and that is tough to take sometimes. But it's the reality of what happened. And I'd like to congratulate the Astros. They played a great series, and they were able to get the job done. But our our group is in the clubhouse a little bit emotional, probably a little bit a lot of different things. It was a tough year in a lot of ways, and it took this year, whether even you could be talking about whoever wins the World Series and all 29 other teams. The year definitely took a lot out of a lot of people, but I'm sure everyone's gonna grow a lot and learn a lot from having gone through everything we just did. We have a great group up there in that clubhouse, and like I said, we put a lot into it to get to this point, and we gave it everything we had, and it was not enough this series.
Phil?
Rocco, did it seem different from last year's at all? Was this one harder than last year's, given the expectations that you were carrying right now?
Yeah, well, anytime this year was certainly different than any other year we've been a part of. Um, Last year was tough as well. Anytime you really dedicate all of your time and your life to something and put a lot into it, when it comes to an end, it's tough. And it was tough last year, and it's very uh, difficult in a lot of ways this year too. Um, but I told our guys need to walk out of this clubhouse today with their heads held high and knowing that we gave it what we had. And again, um, our guys are going to go home, and I told them to, I thank them for everything. I also thank their families for everything that they put into this, too. And some of them were here today. A lot of them are at home. Um, but we're all going to return home and keep working and try to do this better the next time around.
Betsy?
Hey, Rocco. How do you kind of explain the offensive performance in the last 2 days from a group of guys that are good hitters?
Yeah. Um, we went out there, and I think the 2 days were a little different. The only thing in common was we weren't able to push very many runs across. We had uh, some real opportunities, I guess, in both games. Not a ton. I don't think the types of at bats that we had and the number of balls we squared up and those types of things were what we're used to. Even in a year where offense was down and in a year where we didn't score as many runs, we probably would have expected to have more opportunities and to come through in those opportunities more than we did. And we had a couple of things happen. Even Nelly hits a double, skips the wall, and we score a run. And even on that, couldn't really get anything going after that. Obviously we made an out on the play, and that happens. But no, it just felt like regardless of what was going on or what part of the order was coming up, we just couldn't put it together and push any runs across. And you need the base runners normally to make that happen at first, and I don't think we had enough base runners. And when we did have those base runners, we didn't get them home. Certainly not. So yeah, it is hard. It's hard when you know that you have the ability. The Astros came right at us. They came right at us. They threw a lot of fastballs too. In different parts of these games, and we weren't able to make the adjustment. They did a good job. They pitched two really good games. They used some very different ways and methods and ways of using their pitchers, and it worked well for them.
Doe?
Rocco, I think the message from a lot of your hitters all year was wait till we get healthy. Just waiting and looking ahead to the day that they got healthy and were able to play as a unit again. Is it tougher that they never did get that day all the way to the end and to have an offensive showing like this in the series because of it?
Yeah, and again, one thing we have never done and we still won't do is make excuses for not being able to go out there and score runs. We still have a good lineup and we have good players that can go out there and do all kinds of things to score some runs. But as far as having our entire group together, no, we didn't. It seemed like we didn't have our entire group together really almost at any point the entire season, and that is going to happen as well. And sometimes teams don't have their entire group and still find ways to win and still find ways to play deep into the playoffs and do and accomplish all the things they want. So we still could have done that. It is harder when you have a number of guys that you would want to rely on and are exceptional players that couldn't be there. Believe me, the players themselves, there's nobody that wanted to be on the field more than the guys that were off the field, both in this playoff series and in the regular season. And we had, I don't want to say most of our team, but a big portion of our team was not healthy or not available to go. And you know what? That's the reality of the situation. We'll continue to do everything we can to help our guys stay on the field going forward and field the best lineup we can each day. That's all we can do, and we do it without looking back. We don't want to make that, put that out there as the reason why we didn't go out there and do the things we wanted to. We still had guys that could have won these games this time around. We just didn't win.